Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, Salone. Good morning, Africa. Starting again with Guinea, Liberia, Ghana, Nigeria, Senegal, Cameroon, Uganda as well, we people them, Inside Uganda, they follow Tasmo, so big up to that. I hope see this message could be meaningful to we all, you know. Today we can discuss about life and death, or life after death, Christian version and the Muslim version. The Christian version and the Muslims them version. And I go make sure I depict what they can disseminate in a reasonable manner. Because I'm not going to take side, but I go just point out what's insignificant. And we can have to elaborate on the truth. But first and foremost, before I start, una know say I can always start first for grumble, which I no like. Una we don't observe me for the past 1 year or so. I always don't emphasize say, no send give me content them. If you're not a close person to me, or if you're not a far away person to me, no send give me content them. When you send content to me, I feel like say you did try for, for distract Tasmo. Because Tasmo able to come up with your own content them at my own time. Not to what's in the media Tasmo they discuss. Unless if I feel like it's necessary. So I can only talk this, but I not know. I not know what's going to happen. So I want beg una again, the one way they do I beg una stop for sending me content there. A very serious to Tasmo. Not send me content there. I'm very aware of what's going to take place in a salon. I don't need person for sending me content. Let Allah lead we. Good morning to one once more. Good morning. We can start this topic direct. We're not going to bend Benham. And first and foremost, before I hit the main pointers them, or this elaborations, they will elaborate. I just want to say, nobody that not be born with wickedness or evil. Nobody. Since the day when they conceive you, where you dey inside belly, you be holy. Till you come out of that belly, and the time where you begin get sense, not the time where you begin work out, but the time where you begin get sense, you know what's in good and what's in bad. The laws of nature begin to hold you accountable. So even Pekin, they sin. Even Pekin, they go hell. As long as you don't understand what's in right and what's in wrong, you don't get a conscious mind where you understand good and bad. So let us not tell you, say, Pekin, they go hell. And lie by you. You don't need for wakasif. You just need for understand what's in good and bad. So the decisions there, what we make as smart and manner, after what I don't conceive we, now that can lead we to hell. So now the question is, who's in a hell? Or what's in a hell? Or what's in a heaven? Or paradise? Etc. etc. So now this, the religious groups them, don't they pass on to we? Whether not for cheat we, for control we, for fool we, for change we, whatsoever, for the good or for the bad, but not this don't they preach to we. And I want to make, before we continue, let me say, the Bible not just come by itself. Other books can be there, what the Bible can meet. What the Bible take information or story them, then creates their own. And some of them books they are, it's just like where they go thief man, no one left evidence behind. So then go destroy the old books them and say this not the main book. Same thing with the Quran. The Quran not just cancel. It gets in ideologies them from other books them. And what do they talk of other books them? Ancient books them. Books them where they don't exist before the Prophet Muhammad. Now don't forget say Prophet Muhammad, not too long ago, we're not going to think a long time ago. And not too long ago, Prophet Muhammad died. Even Christ, and not too long ago, We can say the BCs before Christ, and then after Christ, the ACs. And then years and then they go depict to you say, now man will live just like we. Now man then will live just like we. So most of the ideologies them back, then learn them, then practice them. But now what it makes sense, now ain't them push before. Until what religion come, they say we don't need any more prophets for create any other books. We, Christianity, now this now we book. Well, the Muslim back, to tell them come, they said, now this now we book. The Jewish, they begets in your book. Enoch begets in your book. The books of the angels, them, begets in your book. The genes, them. Even when they go to this, we evil, we can say evil Judas. Even Judas gets in your book. Even Judas gets in your book. So now we start this proper. Again, we can start with the Muslim side. The Muslim side now we can start with first. Then say after death, well, before death, within this world, the living, where you die, I guess you face after death or hereafter. Now let me continue. And they say that your life, not explainable to we. It is unexplainable. Now, what's in the Quran they state so, not what's in Talmud they say. What's in prophets them or messengers them, people that where they preach the Quran, doctorates they say be able, take information from. I able put this me presentation for una today. But then while they put them, I would give them my own pointers them as well. If it makes sense or not. The other side of life, death. The Quran say it unexplainable. The first quotation that me go quote. If something unexplainable, when we die, we don't know what's going to take place after when we die. Why make una go come preach to it? If the first print or the first statement that when we die is unexplainable, well, why make you go come explain now to it? If you don't know. They say that a life, now the other side though, and it gets in your realities them. Just like how we get to your realities them as a living. The dead man or the person who don't die, him back gets in your reality, not in your world. Like what's how they do so right now? I put the camera before my face. To me, this is not reality. I they part disseminate or talk to people. This is not reality to Tazmo. Well, the other side then gets to your own reality. And I believe, say, if the dead come to the physical, what me able move, maybe they're not going to able move on. But again, no left that on suspense. Because we go get deeper. But in your reality world, it's physical. Then the your reality world is spiritual. And they say now nothing like this world would exist. Now nothing, and not compared to this world where they exist. It's totally different. It's totally different. After where you die, then get a place outside you they go. One of the Barzakh world. The Barzakh world, that's what the Quran states. The Barzakh world. That day you go there. That day you go there. That Barzakh world until resurrection or until judgment. Until judgment. Judgments now whether you go heaven or you go hell. Now this Barzakh world. Now we continue. Then say then get a life barrier. This now the Muslim side over they discuss. Then we go jump to the Christian side. There is a barrier between this life and the other life. There is a barrier between we, where they are alive, with the one there, we don't die. And not go mix until judgment. This then to life there. This life na this world, and the life na the other world. Then two life they are not for mix. They're not for even communicate. They're not for even know about each other until judgment day. Well, before we continue, I want to state that we get people there, we can say, then dream, or then see ghost. The person we don't die. Person they can we can express them things there. They see the unseen. But the Quran say barrier day. So if barrier day, man, the living, not for see the dead. The dead not for communicate with the living. How come now some people they see ghosts? Or they experience ghosts? Or they dream of them people we don't die, we can give them messages them. Sometimes through dreams. How come? If the Quran clearly they tell we say barrier for the. And when they say barrier, now something when you're able to jump. You're not able to jump up. You for them on your own side, be them on my own side. Now let me continue. And we don't know what's gonna happen with them. And then back, no know what's gonna happen with we. Let me repeat this again. We don't know what's gonna happen to the dead one there, or the one that we don't die, we don't left with. Then back, no know what's gonna happen to we. But now my question is, why make people and sometimes can pray for guidance to the one that we don't die? Why make we can call on we ancestors that we don't die? For protection, for prosperity, for whatsoever, for make sure that the family prosper. Why make we can call on their dead souls there? If they don't know about we and we don't know about them. And they say, the Quran say, there's no way for the we understand the dead. We're not going to ever able to understand the other side. Well, I believe say it goes vice versa. Then back not for able to understand this other side. Because a barrier for the. But again, what's in conflict into Tasmo, if this barrier they not for know about this other side. Now this other side, then come out. And if the Quran and the Bible states that woman die, the only two man they can go, now in memories them, in good deeds them. So if me die now, I don't go to the other side, and I go with me memories them, how I go forget about this side? Now a question again for Tasmo. Let me own question. Because me, person go just preach to me, or you write something, I just accept. Now, what's it make sense? What's it make sense based on evaluation step? You know? Now let me continue. Memories then you the carry go. You soul you the go to. And the body they left. So if all them things there they go, you be don't left your family, you picking them, etc. etc. Then make they can say sometimes some souls them can fashion. Because they're still attached to this world. They're still attached. But let me continue. Let me continue. As soon as you die, direct to the Barazak world. As soon as you die, you go direct to the Barazak world. And what's in the states now? Some of them, this world, maybe you go sleep. You go sleep. Or maybe this death here, some of them say not to sleep now, dream it a dream. Well, the Barazak world, the Quran say, na a temporary station. Not a permanent place. Well, again, Tasmo gets another question. The earth was right now, na a temporary place. This na a temporary place for me and you. For when we go heaven. Well, if they don't preach say after what we die, whether now you go hell or heaven, why make now we get for can go to another temporary place? Waiting for go whole weekend at this temporary place. If some man don't worship Allah faithfully, he don't do all things right. Where he no say, where he die, in son of a waste time. If I go direct, I like where you somebody don't graduate. You know what they say, enough for graduate. No man, you don't pass your class, but wait stay 10, 20, 30 years from now before we open gates for you for come heaven. It makes sense? If you don't worship Allah faithfully, then you can't die. I believe, say, the moment so you die, where your soul departs from the body, the Malaika therefore can't take you now. Whether not in heaven or hell. But they say this Barazak place, now there you go wait temporary. Now there you go wait. You go wait. Now let me continue. And a wall on its own. Now there you go for find out if you go heaven or hell. As the Quran stated. This Barazak wall, now there you go for find out whether you go heaven or hell. I guess at the junction. You know, at the nexus, at the center. Who say one man don't die, they, you know. Go meet up. Why make you go for go meet up now this place here? Why make you go for go meet up now this place here? The Hadith say, and say the grave, now the first part of the day of judgment. The Hadith. The grave are the first part where it comes to judgment for judge you, the mortal man or the die person. If you are saved from punishment, from torment of the grave, then you will go sometime better. Now let me elaborate. If they don't go bury you, if you be they do good, maybe they're not going to torment you in the grave. Maybe no punishment not going to meet you in the grave. Maybe you go in the grave till they can't take you. And you go now some side better. But if you don't commit, now the grave first they begin to punish you. Now then they will begin to torment you. Until the one day when you partner in crime, the evil side or the satanic side, and then we can't take you. You know? So the righteous, they're not going to punish you, but it go then at the grave. Because now they are the first place of judgment. Now let we continue. What's in the Prophet Muhammad say? Now listen to this. What's in the Prophet Muhammad say? He said the die people and the people that don't die, they can visit themselves in the grave. The die man we don't die, they can go walk out to themselves in the grave. So I make the prophets be preached say, when you person die, now for dress and fine, now for spray and fine perfumes them. You know, now for make sure say it look presentable. Because now the grave, other people ain't got for come for visitor. That's the prophet state. Well, we know say when once a man die, in body they decay. Where it decay, it go begin to smell. That's not nature. That's natural. So I can wonder why make the perfume necessary. So myself, I wonder myself if they dress you fine or not dress you fine or if it's necessary. Because now what you don't do, good or bad, not important. For go heaven or hell. Not to how you dress, for me to go put you in your grave. But now you good thing you don't do, now ain't gonna take you to the good side. Or the bad thing you don't do, now ain't gonna take you to the bad side. Well, now let me continue. And before I hit another point as them, different cultures them, different parts of the world gets different way for bury them people there. In the ancient days, some they bury people there, they smap straight, they bury you. Some then at the face, then they put down, then bury you. Some they go burn you. Some they not so grand self, then they bury you. Then get a cave, inside they put you. Because every year, or every 2 years, or every 5 years, Family one can see the dead body. The one can visit the dead body. Up till now, we get people there where they play with dead body them. Some man in grandpa be don't die, but 30 years they say in grandpa. Because no not put in grandpa in a grave. Then put on some sign no more for decay. Grandpa King go come and go visit, the dead. So I wonder if that's right to you, or, it's correct. But it happened now. People then get different practice where you can to the death. For when a salon, where you die, I for bury you. The Muslim way, you not for sleep safe. The Christian way, you can take 1 week, 2 weeks, 1 month. Well, other places them, believe me, other places them, the die man, when they say you don't die, that means you never sleep first. Then they can't go to mortuary or on the grave. But that's matter now, us back you the day. Now you room safe back you the day. Now you room you the day. Tell the people that are able to get enough money for create Siberia what they want to create for you. So me, I watch one clip. The granny where we don't die about 10, 15 years ago. 13 or no bury it. And then in the same room. But it don't mean nothing to the people there. Because of their own tradition, and their own culture. Now, let me continue. We don't talk say for bury you person in a fine way. They smell fine, etc. And what's in the Quran also talk? What's in the Quran talk? Well, you question this. If you die, you're in a positive soul, then go bury you near a negative soul, near a bad person. This bad person in grave denier, young grave denier. The Quran say the evil they able for torment the good. Not the grave. That's again another question for me. If you don't die, we all don't die. Then we then on our grave. Why make you get another dead person when negative for able to go torment the good one? At the grave. Maybe people say, after this life, you free from pain, struggle, torment, destruction, or death. You free from them things there. Now that's the Bible and the Quran only preach to we. That's once you don't die, you free away from pain. You need to feel pain again. Nobody not able to torment you again. Because now you live in the spiritual world. But the Quran says, even at the grave, you can become tormented. Even at the grave, you can become tormented. So, I don't know now if this person whether they torment. If he's holy, maybe he's still evil. Because if he's holy, I believe, say, the devil not able to torment you any more longer. But let me continue. Now, what's in the Quran state? And they say, and the person, when they become punished at the grave, you, whether they punish at the grave, you will don't die by evil or by bad. You don't commit, say you don't overcommit. They say that the animals sing for eat you. Now the animals sing for hearing your voice when they cry. Not so the malaika or the angels. Then they hear yourself you cry. You cry for thousands of years, then they hear you cry. But the animals say they go hear you cry. Then they go come back for eat you. And they go come back for eat you. The animal they go consume you. Well, we all know say when we die, something must consume we. No matter no day where they die, when they become consumed. When them put in a grave, then bug them, then tumble them. I don't know how they come out, but me go tell you say that they inside we. Because I then tumble them there with they feed every day what would they eat. And then tumble them there, they kill the bacteria in our systems there for make sure so we're able to survive. So then tumble they are, when we die, we're not able to feed them. Now we body then go for eat. Tear it onto skeleton. But the Quran say, now the evil, the animals say go eat. Well, what about you now? We're not evil. Oh, then somebody else still eat you. Now, my own questions in this so. For this now food for thought. Open your brain. I want to expand your knowledge. Not to bad, but for let you think. Now that's all I make you for. For question things them. When you just accept all thing, you defend your way quicker to the grave. Because you go for question things them. Even Allah will make let you question them. If you not question Allah, you not going to ever know Allah or understand Allah or believe in Allah. So there's no need for tell you about Allah, you just believe. You forget small doubt until you believe. Allah make you a believer. But much man they even afraid forget doubt because he thinks it not sin. Now the way they don't teach you, the way they don't bring you up, the concept saying what the Quran and the Bible don't indulge or induce power. Now we continue. This Barazak wall again. They say the believer, this Barazak wall, the believer automatically where he did it. They company believers and they come from. What's in the Quran talk? Where he die automatically in company believers and they come for him, but they can't take him. Or you, they work out directly to you company believers still. Excuse me. Now this what they talk say, birds with the same wings fly together. Or liquid find their level. Where you put water and oil go outside oil belong, water go outside water belong. Etc. etc. So I guess the good, they go outside goodness stay. You wait around, you go for wait for you people and for come. You know, and the good souls, you know, they're going to begin to ask you about your faith. The good one, them. The righteous one, them. They're going to begin to ask now this other diamond, we just don't die. Whether they welcome. About in faith. About in deeds, them. You know, and how it be they do. How it be they do. Well, to me, all this, you know, now like when you get secretary. You get different secretary. Allah don't need secretaries them too much. No. If they be don't preach so we say where you die, now hell or heaven, why make now where we die, we'll get a temporary stage, and this temporary stage, you come to them back now, they go meet you, they question you. Oh man, you be they do good, maybe they at the wall. Even though they don't notice the good sign by you, because the lights could they by you. You know, they still go question you. Man not for able to question you again. If any question, not to Allah. Not to Allah. You know? But they say you come with their money, then go talk to you back. You know, how you be they do? You know, how you did stuff. Be they do good? What you left home? All these parts are necessary. I make yesterday, I point out the word story. Story they use for control me and you. And allow me continue. They say forgiveness. What's in the Quran states also. Forgiveness can be found in the grave. Well, I put on back Creole and then una thinker. They say even when you don't die, you can able become forgiven. Not the grave. Doubts puts doubts in my mind. It puts doubts in my mind. What's not the points now? What's not the points for do good in this world? If they say in this world that they Allah the right all you did step. The way you die, Allah the go judge you did step. But now the Quran itself will say, even when you die, you can be forgiven also in the grave. I will tell you now how you can be forgiven. If it makes sense or not. You know? You can be forgiven. So you can commit, say you won't commit. The way you go to that grave, Then go find way for let you become forgiven. For making a paradise. I not believe in that concept. What do you do now this world? Automatically, where you go, you don't become judge. And that's me believing. I don't think say Allah they look back. I don't think say Allah they take a word them back. You know? I don't think say Allah na man we just they trick we. They talk something today, tomorrow something different. I don't think say Allah this so. Now they will make Allah so. See Allah they change in words. What say Allah don't decree. Later now it go change just because of somebody go beg for somebody. Somebody go beg for somebody. No. If you not able to beg for yourself, you not able to help yourself for make and go heaven. You not able to help yourself for reach to Allah. Nobody not able to do it for you. But they say you can be forgiven. And I go tell you now how the Quran say you can be forgiven. Now I'll point out to that. And this concept here, I go tell you now say the Quran it take from other side. Other side, where we don't point out to a person say, you know, evil. Then beats Judas because he betrayed Christ. Then beats Judas for certain reasons, then stone him to death. You know, Judas be commit. But Judas begets a own book, a own teaching as well. Concepts and they religious groups there take from different books. But let me continue. They say the righteous child for able for supplicates for you, the dead one. So if you don't die, you do not grave. You don't commit. But as long as somebody were righteous within at the world, at this world, begin to pray for you, a supplication, they beg Allah for you, they beg Allah for you, they beg Allah for you. Allah go must mash you. Listen at the first stage that they where you don't commit within at the grave for them able to get forgiveness. A righteous soul for able to pray for you. You believe in that? All man accountable for himself. You are accountable for your own sins there. For your own way for go heaven. Not other person. No. Also, they say the only way you can be forgiven also for your sins them if you be done left knowledge beyond where people and the benefits from. That makes some people like you want to become pastor. They can want to become imam. And when they can do things there, they can sin more. They can sin tego. Because some of them they believe in this concept. Well, no matter the sin what don't commit in this world, as long as I be they teach people them for do good, for do the right thing, why going to the life after, Allah go forgive me. Because I be left knowledge beyond. Knowledge where they change people and lives. If you believe in this, you just don't lie by yourself. You just don't lie by yourself. You don't go hell. You don't go hell. You know, you don't go hell. That knowledge where you left behind, if you don't practice it. If you don't practice what you preach, you just commit. Okay. Now let me continue. The third one, what the Quran states, where you go be forgiven at the grave, if you don't do charity, and the charity is still a continue, maybe your money or your wealth where you left behind, it's still a continue, people and they benefits from it. Allah can forgive you at the grave. Yeah, Allah not able to talk again at the grave. Now, why then at this world, 19 important. Because they say the Malaika, anything you do, they're the right hand. They're the right hand though. Good or bad, they're the right hand though. So when you don't die, they know all thing and all thing what thing you don't do. Now, inside the grave now, they're able to weigh the goodness or the bad. So, but could talk not for the again at the grave. Me to me on common sense, so me on small sense where I get to Allah give me. But could talk again for them at the grave. You know? So now let me continue. Now let me continue. Now then are the Muslim version. Now the Muslim version, and I don't give that. Now let me come to the Christian part. The Christian side. After death, the living and death. Well, the Christians then believe in the Bible. Who put on so forth? They believe in the Bible. They get heaven or hell. They believe in that. And they believe say when you die, you go to sleep. Now deep sleep you go pa. Your mind, they stay unconscious. You don't know what's in the take place. Nothing. You don't know nothing what's in the take place. You dip deep sleep. Or hell, or you go to purgatory. Purgatory. Or say they go purge you out. Or go cleanse you small. Now so they describe hell. Hell can be a place who say they go refine you. If you don't commit, whether they send you first hell, for go cleanse you. Maybe the cleaning out and punishment small. Maybe there more whippings them. Or maybe there more lectures. You know, I don't know. I don't know. But they go purge you. They go clean you. They go clean you so you go heaven. What's it? The Christians they say. And this teaching, it starts in the 19th century. The Christians, they all teaching. Or, where you in that grave, you go for that grave, you go for remain at the grave until the second coming of Jesus Christ. What's in the Christians they believe? Where you die, you go then at your grave unconsciously until the second coming of Christ. Will Christ come? Well, then you go get back your body. You go grab again and start afresh. The one they will go for resurrect. The one they will go for make an heaven. But I will elaborate more. Let you understand them. Let you understand them. Then gets two different churches them or groups there maybe they teach this concept in the 19th century. I don't know how to pronounce them properly, especially the second one. But Anabaptist or Anabaptist, but with the Anabaptists. Anabaptist and also the Evangelists. Excuse me if I didn't pronounce that right. The Evangelists. And the Evangelists also, they belong inside England. The Anabaptists also belong to the US. You know, but them they preach them preachings there in the 19th century, starting in the 19th century, about heaven or hell. So now let me continue. They say the believers them, you know for fear what we call death. Excuse me. If you're not a believer, die not to something way for afraid. But now something way for be joyful of. You for glad for. You for glad for because it will take you to the next level. For go there with Allah or for go there with God. You know? You're not for afraid death, but for lack death, for be joyful for death. And after death, after when you die, you would live with Christ. Now heaven. For the Christians still. When you die, if you're righteous enough, you go live in heaven with Jesus Christ. With Jesus Christ. No more tears. No more suffering. No more sadness. No more pain. Fup na heaven with Christ. For go live with the Father. Corinthians 5:8. It say, when I listen to this, so I just cut the part. Corinthians 5:8 say, we would rather be away from the body and at home with the Lord. Corinthians 5:8. It states that we would rather be away from the body and home with the Lord and at home with the Lord. So that means the Christians them, they rather for depart from this body will get this vessel. They rather depart from this body and go home Go home to the Lord God. You know, Corinthians 5:8. The Roman Catholic Church, what's name he believe in? The Roman Catholic Church, they believe in, purgatory. Purgatory, which is hell. Hell who said that they go cleanse you when you die. For further purification from your sins there. So you go make up na heaven. Other people then say after death, the Christians they move. Immediately the soul they go to Christ. Immediately the soul they go to Christ. The body they remain na the ground. Other Christians they move. Other Christians they say when the body go na the grave, it will remain there. I guess the body and the soul will remain there until the second coming of Christ. And then your body will be resurrected. And then you will get eternal life. So Jesus Christ can his second term. All the righteous people then they grab back. They grab back. They give you back your body. That your body maybe don't decay, maybe don't rot, maybe don't spoil. They get them back. They get another second life, an eternal life, to peace and prosperity. Now that's others then believe. The church. And God will make the new heaven and the new heart after the second coming of Christ. Oh, the good one will not resurrect. The bad one then go for go. The good one, I guess they go for go to Allah. But Allah will create the heavens now. And the earth. We say we all go for dwell. We say we all go for live together. So that I don't confuse you back here. We don't say when we die. Automatically in heaven. We now going again, we call earth. We now going again. We going to heaven, we say Allah. So why make you go can't tell me say, well, we don't resurrect. Well, we don't resurrect. Huh? They don't give you back new body, new life. Allah will create again the heavens there and the earth. So that means we're never going to heaven. No, we're never going to heaven. If Allah don't create again heaven and the earth, so that means we would go back na the earth. Allah go remain back na your heaven still. The Bible. Well, now we continue. And for the unbelievers them, a purgatory number you go. Where you go purgatory, if I go clean you, or follow you go heaven. Then gets back other believers them inside this Christianity. Then say, you go cease for exist. As long as you evil, Allah, excuse me, they say Anna, Allahu Akbar. Anna Akbar Allah, which I love Allah. Anna Akbar Allah. So nothing wrong for what say Anna. Na love. Anna Akbar Allah. Others they say, you just cease for exist. And if they cease for exist, that means Allah the cuts off all thing about you. Your soul, it done. Life, done. All thing, done for you. Now, that's other Christians they believe. And then they come out from the doctrine of the annihilations or annihilationism. The doctrine of annihilationisms. You go cease for exist. Maybe purgatory not good enough for you. Maybe you so commit that they don't need for care you go na purgatory. Maybe hell not fit yourself. So Allah just to cut you off. Because you too bad. Maybe someday Allah will give them a chance. But maybe they go clean and small. Say maybe you can go heaven. But someday now, you just cease for exist. No more of you. Me, I like that part too. I like that. If you good, you make a heaven. Maybe some people Allah need for cooks them small. Send them go hell. But some people Allah just need for cancel you. You're not important anymore. You just not get sense. Well, let me continue. Yeah, let me continue. So, one thing I'm going to emphasize again, another guy will point this out to me, and it makes sense. I investigate small. The Bible not preach about hell. They only talk about heaven. But when it comes to hell, they don't even discuss much about hell. But some they don't tell we say hell, na fire. Hell na the place where they go torment you. Etc. etc. But the Bible not able to define or redefine what we call hell. Then discuss small about heaven. But nobody know when they see it. But hell now, they create story there. But to not put that inside the Bible. So now would I don't see the hereafter? Now that's me want to ask again. Would I don't go see heaven or hell? Before all them groups that they can preach to we, they tell me about the second coming, or life after death, or purgatory, etc., etc. You know, the Barazak wall. Now, would I don't go to the Barazak wall, we don't come back, we go tell we say, nah, so. I don't think say man do. But why make man always create a story there? Now, let me continue. And one time I make Luna reflect before I hit on a point of stem. In the 17th, 18th, 19th century, people are used for pay money to the church. You they pay for go heaven. The church is for collect money for let you go heaven. The church is for collect money for wash away your sins them. They say if you can't pay we, Lord we pray for you. So we go reduce your sins them. So when you go to grave, you go able to make and go heaven. All this they exploit people them. Exploitation. So man they go pull in last and last. You know, forgive to the church. That they make the poor become poor. Because when they don't put panic now you eyesight or you head, they don't create panic by you. That's the last they go pull and forgive because you want go heaven. Now be aware for control people them. People them they become rich by this. You know? But much man so full that they don't fool we for centuries and the full just they continue by we big full word. We so full. We are the most full thing we Allah create. We think say we smart. Maybe the animal is smart safe pass we think say we smart. The easiest people for manipulate and control and fool. Now man. Man can work as straight so easy for men and divert them for they begin commit. But you're not going to say they can't commit too. Because when they don't doctrinate you, you go still think say now the right thing that they partake. But if you sit down, you question what's in it, they put now you aid. You go more see the light. But man, no one see the light. Man left for day on the dark side. You know? So now let me continue this. Let me continue. So the church they exploit, the mosques don't exploit, and up to now the exploitation they take place. You know? Most of man they spend all the last and last for go Mecca. That concept. And so you go around the stone, you touch the stone, you go make and go heaven. That concept. I'm sorry for saying this, so maybe you're Muslim is different. But now one place, I know one go. I know I'm gonna make her for go touch the stone. I know I'm gonna make her for go see the stone. Because the history of this stone here, before they say it blessed, now this same area here, this stone here, then be used for kill people as sacrifice. This same stone, and then be used for punish people. Now so blood be they run around this area. So why make society who say they don't kill or murder so many people Then go say that they place this, we go lead me to Allah. Just because the prophets don't bless them. Now my own belief, my own opinion, my own views them. Now let me continue. You know? And as state earlier say, even Judas gets a own book. And some certain preaching empire, Judas' own book, the church don't agree with. But now point them out. Just few. They wanna see now, would I take the concept or not? Whether that the mosque or the church, but you go create a judgment. Me not go pull on my own words. I can't for disseminate information. Judas, by one of in Testament, it say a person must make atonement for the dead. Atonement. A person, one must make atonement for the dead. And this a day by Judas, a book. They call themselves Judas Maccabeus, the book name. Judas Maccabeus, 1242 to 45. If you get that book there or shots for, verse 12 or so, 42 to 45. Judas Maccabeus. Say one must make, or a person must make atonement for the dead. And the word again, atonement, now supplication stem. One for beg for the dead. The living for beg for the dead for go heaven. So again, would I take that concept today from Judas? If Judas' own book, Judas always say that the most evil, corrupt mortal will betrayed Christ. By his own book, he say, somebody for beg for the dead. Me, I not believe in that concept still. But for them religion groups, they are the Muslim and the Christian. I just don't preach them. Listen back to what I don't preach. Now, would I take that concept today? But the church not believe in this concept. But some they believe in them. Not so, you know, so the church get different sectors them. From the King James Version, Old Testament, New Testament, the Book of Mormon, name it, the Baptist, all kinds of section they make compact. They're so confused. So the last two I want been at this world are Christian. And the Muslims they back up and follow suit. Because even the Prophet Muhammad, a young cousin, now one overthrow. We can't to the hadith. We get different prophets say what they fetch for the Middle East. Some they believe in Prophet Muhammad, some they believe in his cousin, some they get to your other prophets who they believe in what's now the Muslim way. Not so all man believe in Prophet Muhammad. So the same bout what the Christians then get, where they pass scatter them. Now almost the same fate the Muslims then get. The sooner them, the what itself them inside Middle East. Faith say that they fetch themselves. Muslims them but they get different practice. They get different leaders them. Etc. So una tell me if not to man-made. And the last but not the least, we come to the church. They say Jesus Christ, we don't die for we sins them. And we all know this. They say Christ, we don't die for we sins them. Jesus Christ, now the advocate for we. For make can go to heaven. So if Allah we don't allow Christ for die for we sins them, why make you need for do good? Now my own question is, why make you need for do good? Because you do good you do bad Jesus Christ we don't die for your sins them. When you die for go heaven automatically. And no matter. Because what's in the Bible states, Christ we don't die for your sins them. You can be forgiven at any time. Anytime. Commit 100 times, Allah go forgive you 100 times. What's in the Bible states? What's in the Bible states? And when you die, as long as you there in line with Jesus Christ, you don't go to heaven. I don't believe in that. Charles would not believe in that. You know, nobody need to die for the next man in sin. Jesus Christ, not like a teacher, not like a mentor, somebody you will for learn from, you know, an inspirator. But for what they say, or what they make this man as the advocate, you know, for me and you, I ain't no spilling blood. So nobody else in blood not for be spilled. All man for me can go heaven. Nobody not for go hell. All man for me can go heaven. Nobody not for face purgatory. Because as long as you believe in Christ, you accept Christ as your Savior. Well, do what you want to do. Do what you want to do. Now that's the Bible preacher, but it makes sense. Me just the action no if it makes sense. So for conclude today my own preaching, for una, what them pastors them, they imam them, they shake them, don't delay manipulate, don't delay confuse, don't delay mislead you. Why make I talk this? But come marriage don't scatter because of pastors them or imam them. Some woman, you need to listen to a man. You rather listen to a pastor or the imam. Say him back begin to fornicate. If pastor or imam don't scatter you and your siblings them, or you and your family, now for repent, now for go back, now for retract your step. Because all them people that are with them messengers them, they only do it for their own benefits or their own ideologies them. For mislead mortal man, because you no one lead yourself. So other person will come for lead you to failures them. Only few souls can go lead you to prosperity, but not to all. Boku pastors they again or imam there or shake them. Don't scatter boku married. Don't scatter boku families them. And why make I go talk so? Boku shake or imam go point out say you picking where you born is evil. And they by witchcraft. Or you wife where you get that day a satanical and they by witchcraft. Or that you brother and not clean and they by witchcraft. Or you mama will born you. That day na satanic person and they by witchcraft. Now then people there can preach them things they have to we. Where they satisfy you and your mama, or satisfy you and your papa, or satisfy you and your brother or your sister or your wife or your husband, or you pick them. They don't really scatter homes them. Then same people there they don't tell one that they listen to. Now the time this for a trackle and begin to pray for forgiveness. Because that you brother what you hate today. You only hate them because they preach something to you or they doctrinate you. Or that you sister what you hate. Or your mama what you hate. Or your papa what you hate. Etc. etc. Because somebody can put on you ace. Or somebody don't torment you. Take go next wall. That person don't become your enemy. Even if that person is good to you. Take go next wall. Because somebody don't can put evil na you ace. When you don't understand sin and evil. Take today. It don't happen to me. I know say it don't happen to you. It don't happen to Bokov we all. But me personally mislead me. Me just don't become the victim. Because a pastor don't can pray. I don't be specific. You know, one of my siblings they first got a pastor. I be there about me 16, 17, 18 or so. You know, I'm not be 18 yet. When the pastor the church, other people they aid. They for them. Boop. The pastor want church me aid. He want push me say for that, I don't agree. Now I hold back my stamina. You know, I don't feel no spirit, no nothing. I go push me for that for them. I know say I don't agree for them. You know, I end up for come out by the prayer meeting. I know say them point me out say, this your brother, you not clean. No. But now they not be clean. Now they not clean. You know? Because he want make laugh for them. So he go and talk, say, it's powerful. He go and continue for full other people there. But not all man in age is able to church. It collapse. Whatever juju you get. Whatever juju you get. Not so all man he aid in the church, it collapse. So what a man he aid, not to for una for control. You know? So you, oh pastor, don't confuse, don't torment, don't mislead. Begin every track, you steps them back. If not, you the way of hell is deep. The way of hell is deep. The way of hell is deep. You know? So again, for conclude and better, now we believe in Allah. Now we learn to do good. The barriers then between life and death are not to understand, but are not to believe in them barriers. Then they, I believe say the death then they around we as much as we they around the death. You know, the things that will happen at this world, what we know they see about cool. The world first enough funny. The world enough funny. You know? Enough funny. Some them no go left this world here because they're attached to this world. But if you don't die, there's other worlds there for let you go. For let you go. If you evil self, you get to your own side for go. Now your own punishment's that. You know? You get to your own side for go. Liquid find its level, or the birds with the same wings fly together. Allah don't create this already. They're not need for past judgments again by you. Now you they pass judgments by yourself. Why did you not this world? What do you do today? Now you continue with tomorrow. When you die, Allah don't need for say anything. Because they don't create a system. The good goes I need for go, the bad goes I need for go. Yin and yang. The light or the dark. You choose one. You know? We'll go and conclude and so. We're not going to add to that anymore longer. Let Allah open your eyes them, open your ears them, open your thoughts them, and try for redefine yourself. Because it's never too late. Try for understand yourself. Try for understand nature. Try for understand things them around you. You know? Just know that so many days for mislead you. Not to all man, they for lead you to prosperity. And just like in this world, not to all man want to see you better one. Even with the one they want to come out the same belly, or step sisters them, etc., or the same family. Not to all man want to see you better one. So now the same thing, not to all man want to see you go heaven, or become more closer to Allah, or for become enlightened. Enlightenment, now a light to, now a light for let your soul, you know, succeed, you know, to a greater level. Enlightenment, you know. But when you not become enlightened, no problem, because you're bound for fail. And you don't go blame nobody for you for become stupid, because that's what they say. When you become enlightened, you get wisdom and knowledge. When you become stupid, you don't go blame nobody past you. Because you got to push yourself for land. What it tells me today, so not to what and teach tells me to constantly. Half of it maybe Alana from the world, and the other half affects for Lana by myself. And I try to understand what it makes sense or not. So push yourself, not limit yourself. Now that we go state. Now when I boy again tells Muslims the servants, aka Pepe call when I get a blessed Tuesday.